Yesterday, someone asked me a question about this problem that was on your WebAssign that also shows up in your sample test. And they tried to solve the problem the way we solved the problem before when we folded up a piece of paper into a box. The issue here is that the box is not the same as the original box. If you look here, we have a rectangular piece of paper, but over here we have a fold which makes a lid and folds it into something like a shirt box. So this is a little bit different and much more complicated. When I first worked this problem, I had an 800 here instead of a 700, so I'm going to be using the number 800 instead of 700, but you'll get the idea. So let's walk you through that piece of paper being folded into a box. So what you have is a 48-inch by 24-inch piece of paper. Now we're going to cut out squares down here at the bottom and fold up that one piece. And then we're also going to fold the rest of the box. We're going to take these pieces out and fold, and this portion right here would represent the lid, and this portion right here would represent the bottom of the box. So if I want to get the length of the box, I really need, because this is the inside bottom of the box, I need this part to this part, which I don't know. I'm going to call that Y. Now, this part here is the lid, so this particular lid part is going to match this because it's going to fold over right over the top. So it's Y as well. What I can tell you though is all these little pieces, the X, the X, the Y, the X, and the Y have to total up to be 48. That means I get an equation. 3x plus 2y is 48 if I gather together like terms, or if I want to isolate y, I get 2y is equal to 48 minus 3x when I subtract 3x from both sides. And I can solve for y by dividing everything through by 2. So the 48 divided by 2 and the 3 divided by 2 isolates y. And 48 divided by 2 is 24. So now I have an expression for this length y. So I know what the length is. It's 24 minus 3 halves x, which I just did. The width was just like the problem that I showed you before. It's 24 is all the way across. I'm going to snip out x and x. So I have width is 24 minus 2x, and the height is still going to be x, because when I fold up this box, the height of the box is going to be x. So then the volume is the height times the length times the width. So from here on out, we're very similar to the other problem I showed you. My WebAssign had a volume of 800 when I first looked at it. Every time I open it, I get a new thing. So I got 700 this time. I'm just going to use 800 and show you what comes next. So I'm really trying to solve this equation equal to 800, or if I subtract 800 from both sides, I'm looking for the roots of that polynomial. Well, from here on out, you can use the calculator. And I put it into decimals, and you see that I get right over here 7.831 as my x, my height. Now, they say that in my problem, they said they wanted a height lower than 6. So they might want this height, but the answer that WebAssign gave was this one. So just give me both of them in your example that you put on the test so that I know you know what you're doing. But it's inconsistent with what WebAssign was asking for. And that's it.